Hello guys, good morning. So it's a brand new week. Hope you had a good holiday. Now let's just dive in. I'm going to do it differently this time. I'm going to include some more currency pairs. So with that, I want to start with the DXY before I can continue. Let's see what the DXY has been doing. We go down to the monthly. So the monthly, the past 3 months, it has been going up. There have been a war, so things have not been consistent. So with that, DXY is actually trying to perform. It's trying to push things up, but it's still not there yet. Okay. Yeah, it has been struggling there since I think February. Oh, that's March. Yes, that week of March. So since February, it's been there and it's still trying to push up, not to go any lower. So let's see what we have with the. Let's start with the Euro USD. Okay. With the Euro USD on a monthly, we are going down, and actually we have this trend line here. See, going perfectly across. That gives us a view of what is happening right now. So it's on a sideways, because even if you check that trend line, it's not completely heading down, it's on a sideways. Okay, so let's check what a weekly has. Weekly, it wants to head down. Okay, and it has started this on January, and I'm still trying to push down. Okay, now if we do check on a daily, you can see the high lows that's making. So that's nice. Okay, what would I expect it to do for me to get into this trade? The last low point, remember we are heading down, the last low point was at this area. Okay, that's the last low point. I would love to see it come and touch the top or the bottom, or even cross across. For heading down, I'd like to see it cross across, because you see it has touched here, and then headed up. That gives me some negative impressions that it is trying to push up, but there's also something else that is encouraging. Just go with me with this. I'd like you to actually see it well. You see this high? This one is lower than this high, okay? And this is lower than this high. How do you know that? You see? Let's put lines on each one of them. There. Yeah. You see? It's lower than the other. So what does that tell us? That tells us that it's still pushing down. There are still sellers in this market and still continuing down. So I'll wait to see what will happen in this region before I can get into this trade. Okay, let me check something else. Now we go to GBP USD. On a monthly, if we do check this, it's actually trying to perform better than the euro. Okay, you can see here that it's going across, yes, but it's not in a clear downward trend. Okay, it's not in a clear downward trend, but it is trying to push. Okay, if you do check on a weekly, actually on a weekly it's on an uptrend. It's on a sideways, yes, but on an uptrend. If you do check this trend line, you see going up. Okay, so that means that in GBP the pound is trying to push, it's trying to get stronger, it's trying to move up, and with that current sentiment, let's see what the daily is telling us. Okay, the daily is trying to push. It has actually gotten into this region. Let me show you. It has gotten into this region. It's trying to push this down to test here, and then it can continue up. Okay, so with this happening, I would love to see it come all the way down into the box. Okay, not just hover around on top. I'd love to see it come down into the box, then we can head up. Okay, without it doing this, I cannot get into this market. But remember, we only need patience to get the best trades in this industry. Okay, so just be patient and wait. So that one I'll wait for it to come into the box, and then I can look for entries. Without it doing that, I am not getting into that market. Okay, remember that I'm not getting into that market without it getting into that box. Let's get into our big boy. Or before we do that, let's check BTC. So these are the things I want to be checking this week. So I hope every day I'll be able to analyze depending on time. Okay, so on a monthly, shows us that it's trying to push up. It got to this, let's see how low did, yes, it got to this on the block and it's trying to push up. It's fully supported with the weekly as well, trying to push up. It now created equal lows and it's trying to go up. Okay, on a daily, yesterday actually it pushed up quite well. Okay, so what do we expect today? Has it hit this region? Let's see. Did it hit this high? Yes, few inches out, but it did get there. So with that in mind, what is it telling us? But remember, as much as it has hit that high, it hasn't filled this fair value gap. It has started, but it hasn't completely filled this fair value gap. Okay, so without it filling this fair value gap, I think it will continue going down, but it has gone all the way to the mid of the fair value gap. So with that, let's see something else. I'd love to see something else. Okay, I'd love to see what it will do. What's this? Let's measure the move from down here to up here. Remember, we're in the 4-hour time frame. I haven't gone lower than that, so we are, it got to an equilibrium, but we needed to get to a discount. Okay, so we needed to go lower. I'm going to put my alert at this point, okay, and wait to see what it will do. Okay, so that's that for that. Let's get into gold and check what gold is telling us today. Okay, and since this is my normal pair, like it clean, let's just do a wonder. And with the wonder, let's say clear some things. I don't want you guys to get confused. So let's start on a monthly and check what is it doing. Whoa, on a monthly we were bearish. Yesterday actually we were bullish. Now it's bearish again. It's like it went to sweep some liquidity and now it's heading down. Okay, but on a weekly it shows us that we are bullish. But check something out. Without being told, this thing has a gap. Wait, what's the closing price for this? Closing price is 46.76.745, opening 46.38. You see, I told you there is a gap. 76 to 38, there must be a gap, because you see how low it is. It shows us that it opened down here, which is irregular, so that means it has a gap opening that day. And actually you can see the gap right here. Oh, that's for yesterday. There's another one here. Okay, so let's check something out. Okay, this is interesting. This is on a Thursday. Wow. Okay, so if you check something out here, look at how it shows us. On a monthly it's bearish, okay. On a weekly it shows us it's bullish, but on a daily shows us it's bearish. Thursday closed in a bear. Yesterday it tried to push up but came down. Now it's trying to push down. Okay, as much as that candle does not give us confidence, it's trying to push down. Okay, so let's say 4 hour. Yes, you see 4 hour gives us the actual picture of what's happening. Okay, so with this, let's go back to our daily. What's our highs? That's our high, and that's our low. Right now we are just working inside the trend. Okay, we created this high, okay, that we broke, came tested, and then we went up. Now it's coming down. If it comes down to that, it will definitely break, but if it just tests, it will continue going up. So the next high we need to close above the 4 hour is 47.85. okay, so with that in mind, what are we looking for today? Okay, so here we are right now. If we do measure this range, let's see. Yes. The way to here, it shows us that it's still on a premium market. We need it to come to a discount before we can get into this trade. Okay, so we need it to come down to this region before we can get into that trade. 43.76. okay, but we need to watch out for what it's doing, for what's happening. Let's check what are the Asian ranges. those are our Asian ranges today. Actually, you see that market has been dancing across. That's the 15. It's moving across. That's bad for business, but it's what it's doing. You cannot change any of that. So even on a 1 hour, it shows you that it's on a sideways market, which is never good. Okay, so I'll be waiting for it to come at least to the 61.8 area before I can give it a buy. But until it does that, I'll not get into this market. I'll just be patient and wait to see what will be happening. Okay, so that's it guys for today, and hope you learned something. Until next time, have a good one. Cheers.